Ninetales appears in the Pokédex as a fire-breathing fox designed for a children's game. Its design follows a specific historical blueprint, the Kitsune, a shape-shifting fox spirit from Japanese folklore. According to the mythology, a Kitsune gains a new tail for every century it lives. Upon reaching its 9th tail, it achieves a 1,000-year lifespan, the ability to breathe fire, and the power to lay vindictive curses upon its enemies. Academics refer to this deliberate preservation of local mythology within globalized media as cultural odor. It is the practice of leaving distinct, identifiable traces of Japanese history within a product designed for worldwide consumption. When original designers Atsuko Nishida and Ken Sugimori developed the first generation of Pokémon, they explicitly embedded this cultural DNA into the character, ensuring the Kitsune lore would be exported to millions of Game Boys around the world. By maintaining the 1,000-year lifespan and the capacity for spiteful curses in official Pokédex entries, Ninetales functions today as a modern digital vessel engineered to keep an ancient, terrifying spirit alive in the public consciousness. Translating a mythical spirit into a video game meant converting folklore into strict mathematics and code, bounded by the rigid processing environment of the original Game Boy hardware. This conversion created a mechanical anomaly. Ninetales is categorized as a pure fire type, yet it learns highly specific ghost and psychic abilities like Confuse Ray and Psyshock. These cross-type moves operate as deliberate mechanical substitutions for a yokai's mystic spirit magic, allowing the creature to inflict supernatural ailments despite lacking the actual ghost typing. This faithful translation created an immediate struggle. Despite its majestic lore, its base stats were divided across too many different roles, leaving the 1,000-year spirit to face an uphill battle in the environment of competitive gameplay. Later generations attempted to rescue fire types by introducing an ability called Drought, which automatically summons harsh sunlight to the field to boost fire damage. Ninetales received this ability, but the role of premier sunsetter was immediately taken by Torkoal, a slow, lethargic, unassuming tortoise. This visualization compares their stat profiles. Left, Torkoal boasts massive physical defense and critical hazard moves like Stealth Rock and Rapid Spin. Right, Ninetales shows a fragile defensive frame and a move pool restricted to pure offense. Ninetales does possess a significantly higher speed stat. In almost any other combat scenario, moving first is an advantage, but for the highly specific role of setting weather conditions, high speed is a liability. In the brutal mathematics of competitive singles, moving quickly cannot compensate for a total lack of utility and field presence. Ninetales would hit fast, take a single physical hit, and immediately faint. We can see why speed is a liability in a weather war, triggered when two weather-setting Pokémon enter simultaneously. Because of turn order, the faster Pokémon activates its ability first. The slower unit triggers its weather second, which simply overwrites the first. This mechanical quirk doomed Cantonian Ninetales. Its high speed guaranteed it would set the sun early and lose the weather war to slower competitors. Torkoal's extreme sluggishness practically guaranteed its sun would apply last and stay on the field. Trapped by its own stats, Ninetales faced a stark reality. To survive 2 decades of competitive power creep, it would have to abandon the core fire element that defined its mythological identity. Generation 7 introduced the Alola region, an archipelago based on Hawaii. It brought with it the biological concept of regional variance, where extreme geography forces existing species to adapt. The new in-game lore established that to survive the tropical environment, Vulpix and Ninetales populations migrated to freezing, isolated mountain peaks. Over generations, they adapted to the bitter cold. This lore shift allowed developers to strip away the original fire typing entirely, replacing it with a combination of ice and fairy. This elemental shift from fire to ice provided the specific mechanical framework the Pokémon required to compete in the modern era. Smogon competitive data illustrates how Alolan Ninetales became a meta-defining threat. The key was acquiring the Snow Warning ability, which automatically summons hail upon entering the battle. Summoning Hail establishes a critical synergy, granting Ninetales the ability to instantly execute an exclusive, highly restrictive move called Aurora Veil. Looking at this damage model, we can see how the Aurora Veil barrier functions. As attacks pass through the shield, incoming physical and special damage values are mathematically slashed in half for the entire team, lasting across multiple turns. Protected by this shield, its new offensive profile flourishes. It utilizes Freeze Dry to eliminate resistant water types and deploys Sheer Cold, an instant knockout move to break through otherwise impenetrable defensive walls. In folklore, yokai endure through the centuries not by remaining static, but by constantly shapeshifting to match their environment. Ninetales survives today because the franchise iterates on the underlying mathematics, ensuring an ancient cultural myth remains an active, relevant force in the contemporary metagame.